Well, I'm live. I love being live. And this is a very impromptu event this evening, but I don't expect many people to be on live watching me right now, either on the YouTube channel or indeed the Facebook channel. But I'm going to be on here probably for the next half an hour, and obviously these little snapshots are going to be left online so people can come back and watch them. And this one really is just an induction to Belfast Whisky Week 2021. And we kind of had a kind of flavour of what was expecting this year when we had our Rabbie Burns tasting. But we're moving on to greater, better things. So twice a week, you're going to see me. I'm speaking for myself. Cheers. We're going to be twice a week. You're going to see me only for about half an hour, 45 minutes. Most Mondays and Wednesdays, and I'm going to be introducing you to lots of different brands, lots of different, I suppose, people within the whisky industry, distillers, maybe owners of distilleries, blenders, and some of the brand ambassadors. But I want to talk to lots of people and say thank you for last year, and say thank you very much for all the support that we received from all of the different distilleries. But also a lead up to this year's festival, where we have a lot of different distilleries who are involved, coming on board, and we want to say hello to them. So it's going to be very short, very short bursts of information, Mondays and Wednesday nights, from about 8:30 onwards. 30 minutes, 45 minutes of me having a general conversation with people within the industry and drinking a couple of their whiskies. And I want you to enjoy that. So we're going to give every session, we're going to give free whiskey. We're just going to give whiskey out to the community. And you can sign up as long as you're signed up to our YouTube channel and a subscriber to the YouTube channel. And you will then be opportunity to get involved in our tastings every week. We'll send out 3 samples for you to enjoy. You can listen to what we're saying, having a bit of crack. And it's not about the whiskey. We're not going to be talking about whiskey. We will not be specifically talking about the 3 drams that we will have, so anyone can join in. But if you're lucky enough to get the 3 drams that we have, then you'll enjoy the crack as much, and maybe a little bit more. So yeah, it's a journey. We've got a long period now between now and July where we kick off the festival itself. And I want every week I want to talk about it, and I want to come on and have a bit of banter and introduce you to all those different brands. And again, reflect on who was involved last year and why they got involved, and what made it so appealing to them, and why is it appealing this year. So to give you a wee flavour of what it looks like, we have in the next couple of weeks, so St Patrick's Day week. St Patrick's is on Wednesday. St Patrick's Day is on Wednesday, and we're going to have a tasting Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. So 4 different tastings. And those 4 boxes will go on sale. They were meant to have gone on sale already. Apologies for anyone who thought they were on sale. On the website, they look like they've sold out, but they've not as yet. They actually go on sale tomorrow. There was a little bit of a problem with the back end on one of the pages that just wouldn't allow us to sell the product properly. So we're going to be selling those 4 boxes, and that's a Clone Cult full set. So so if anyone's come across the Clone Distillery bonded experimental set, it's a full set in there. So there's 7 whiskies, and there's 2 little special whiskies in there also. Or sorry, maybe they're not whiskies, but there's 2 little special products in there. And if you look at the small print when you're purchasing those packs, you'll see there's a couple of our little things that are being added to it. There's also a full, and I say full, we've not really got the full set of the Causeway collection, but there's a 9-box or a 9-piece box Causeway collection coming out for Paddy's Week as well, which will look at least 9 of those Causeway collection bottles. Also includes a Bushmills, Friends of Bushmills whiskey deck of cards, and a T-shirt, which I think is pretty awesome. So that whole movement, Bushmills, have moved, to support the whiskey community. They really want people to fall back in love with Bushmills. I've always loved Bushmills. I mean, you don't need to be converting me, but they've really pushed it. The community has grown. If people look on the online page, the Friends of Bushmills whiskey page. It went from, in November time, it went from about 200 people, 300 people. We're now at about 700 people really involved. Very similar to the Cologne cult kind of movement. People have really jumped onto that, really supported Brendan and what's going on down at Cologne Distillery. And, if you were to look at the Friends of Middleton group, they've got a long, long way to go. Those guys are like way out ahead. They're on to their second, cask program for their members. It's really, really, really interesting. But yeah, so box one, Cologne full set. Box two, Causeway Collection, nine piece. Box three, a premium box. So a premium box looking at premium whiskies. Again, trying not to duplicate anything we've done before. One of the biggest things that I'm about is making sure that we don't really duplicate what's been done. I don't want to see people just looking at the same tastings, all the time. So that premium box, we're going to fill that with stuff which is just coming out, some new stuff. We're going to be looking at, there's definitely a brand new Middleton, which is coming out, and that's from the Friend of Hand's new Middleton release. I believe there's a new Powers. I hope there's a new Powers, because it should have been released already, and whether or not we can get it into the box, that'd be a good thing. And then there's a mystery box, and those that trusted me at Christmas, have faith. And you guys, I thought you got a good deal at Christmas time. So the festive Belfast Whiskey Week festive week was really, was really fun. I really enjoyed myself. Lots of tastings on the go, but that wee mystery box was good crack. So they're the four. We'll keep it nice and short. 4 sessions across St. Patrick's Week, and that's really just to keep people, because of the situation we're in just now, really forced to be in a situation where we can't be out socialising. And it's been really good to get those boxes out worldwide. So when they do go on sale, again, they're offered to many, many countries around the world. It's really good to see that people are being involved from just about everywhere. We'd like that to continue. So yeah, we've got a run up every week now, 2 sessions a week, me talking to lots of people, coming on here, having a few drinks. Anyone who signs up and subscribes onto the YouTube channel for Belfast Whiskey Week will automatically be given the opportunity to come on and take part in those tastings. That you're not expected to pay for the whiskey, but you would be expected to pay for delivery. That's probably the only thing that we'd be looking for, and they'll go on to the web page, so they'll be on belfastwhiskeyweek.com. You'll be able to click on there, and you'll be able to click into any of the tastings that we're going to be doing between now and the actual festival itself starting. So I've had lots of questions, lots and lots and lots and lots of questions about this festival this year, and there's so many answers. So I need to start off with the first thing is, what's happening? Is it physical? Is it online? Well, for those that that really care, it's definitely going to be online, insofar as that we will put as much information out and as many of the tastings broadcast, online. And what I mean by broadcasting is not this. It's not me. It's not my just little figure, with a camera in front of it. It'll be, and people need to think about this, it's a bit like a TV studio, whereby we'll have the ability to have multiple cameras focusing in on someone presenting, and potentially then presenting to an audience. So we're not going to rule out, at this moment in time, we're definitely not ruling out people participating physically in the festival. We will have restrictions in Northern Ireland. I'm guaranteeing we have restrictions in Northern Ireland, and we will work around that. We're going to allow people, if they want to come and take part in some of those tastings physically in a venue, and be at the Duke of York, be at the Hart Bar, be in the Europa Hotel, wherever it is that we are managing to get ourselves in, and we have those agreements in place. If people want to come, we're going to allow that to happen, because we're going to film from there. We're going to broadcast from those venues. We're going to do that anyway. We want to be in those venues to broadcast. So it's not going to be done in the kitchen or in my living room or in my, in my whiskey barn, as it were. It's not going to be in those places. We are going to be in, settings where people physically can come to. So then the question is, what type of tastings are we doing? That was people have been giving me lots of suggestions of types of tastings. I just want to revert back to our first festival, which, we looked at types of debates, introductions. So again, it's maybe looking at some of those, kind of beginners tastings. Having a look at just new whiskies coming through, and and sampling, just variants of whiskey. And I think that's been very important that we can provide that we're going to look at, not just Irish whiskey. And I think that people understood last year that because this is Belfast Whiskey Week, people might have this weird understanding it's just Irish whiskey. It's really not. It's about whiskey from all around the world. We're drinking whiskey from absolutely everywhere. We're drinking whiskey from Japan, drinking whiskey from Australia, we're drinking whiskey from Wales. Yep, Wales, from from England, from I'm trying to get as much whiskey from around the world involved in Belfast Whiskey Week as possible, and that means a hell of a lot of tastings. So someone asked me how many tastings, and at the moment, on paper, and that might change slightly, but on paper at the moment, there looks to be around about 70 different individual unique tastings. That's a lot of tastings. That's a lot of tastings within 1 week, within a festival. And again, no brand, or whiskey distillery or name will compete. They'll all have their own time. They'll have their own time frame where they don't have to worry about stepping on someone else's toes or someone's audience moving between rooms. That they'll have their own time. And the festival's so big, and because the majority of it will be online and available online, that there's not going to be disruption. There's not going to be worry about, if I want to do Bushmills, I can't do Cologne because they're on at the same time and it's going to cause me an issue. Or if I want to have, anything to do with McConnell's, and seeing what they've got to do, I'm not going to be competing against Powers. We're not going to see those. We're going to see, lots of different types of events that will allow people to interact at different times. And also that element whereby you should be able to go back. I mean, this will be recorded and broadcast, and that recording will come back in online, and you can be able to witness that. Now, we did have some issues last year about the length of time that took to come back online, but it all came back online, and it all managed to come back on. And people still message me just now saying, "Listen, looking for that video for," and particularly, and people have been looking for the Connacht one because there's a bit of hilarity in that. But people are asking those kind of questions. Can I go and watch this? Of course you can. Go back and listen to what guys are talking about. Go back and read some of the comments that have been made at the time. And that's really, it's a learning process. The festival, it's community-led. Let's not muck about here. This is a community-led festival. It's not owned by the big corporates. It's not owned by the distilleries themselves. It's not owned by the brands. It's a community-led project. People want to have whiskey, first of all, a good price, for it to be, available to them all over the place. That's all around the world if possible. But they want a sense of community. Belfast Whiskey Week brought together hundreds of people from around the world. It wasn't just a group of people in Belfast. It wasn't just some guys from the south or some of our friends coming up from Dublin who made up numbers. No, it wasn't that. In fact, the majority of people who got involved in Belfast Whiskey Week were from America, were from South America even. Most of Europe got involved, and we had, people from, particularly from Scotland and England, getting involved. And that was really, for me, that was an eye-opener. I want everyone to come to Belfast. I want you all to experience Belfast and the pubs and the atmosphere and the history, taking those walking tours. So, we will have, during that week, that type of environment. If it's physical and it's possible, then we'll have you, taking a historical walking tour to talk about whiskey and what it was like here in Belfast and all of the different areas where all the different distilleries were, and what pubs were there, and, really the true history of Belfast is in whiskey distilling is something unreal. No, there's no other city in the world that has anything like it. Dublin doesn't come close, and it might now have more distilleries. Belfast at the moment has 0, but it might have more now. But back in the heyday, 100 years ago, Belfast is turning out way more whiskey than anywhere else. Even from Scotland. So I think I want to bring people back, but the festival's a good way. If you can't come to Belfast, don't stress. We bring Belfast to you. So last year we all know that we had music, we had comedy. Do you know what I mean? We're going to do the same again. The guys who are involved in it, all those different acts, they want to be involved again. We've got other people who have been saying, listen, Paul, really want to get involved. How can we do food pairings? So there's food pairings involved. We've got lots of different restaurants who are saying, I'd like to do something. If we can do something that week, that'd be really good. And I think the climate that we're in just now, if we can get people locally to be involved in the festival as much, well, that's great, But if I can get this message out to people around the world, I'm flattered to think that people, particularly anyone outside of Belfast who wants to be involved, has that opportunity. I'm just flattered that they're taking up on the opportunity. Like, it's really, it's very humbling to have a message from someone, say maybe somewhere in the west coast of America, saying, listen, thank you very much. Really didn't have much going on last year. That festival that you organised, I got into it, managed to get myself a box, got delivered to me, opened it up, and was just part of a community. That's very humbling, It's also very humbling knowing that we've got people who maybe don't even speak English as their first language specifically, coming on, learning a hell of a lot about the whiskey community, writing about it months later. I mean, I'm still seeing posts through different social media accounts. I don't even know these people going, just had this whiskey. Haven't seen the box, since the summer. Haven't had the chance. Opened them up, and all of a sudden I'm drinking all these whiskies. I literally had a message yesterday saying the presentation was phenomenal. The whiskey was great. Thank you so much. And I'm like, yeah. If people are still drinking it, that's really important. I mean, the size of measures that were, delivered were to do that. It wasn't that you just had to drink the whiskey there and then. Enjoy it. Come back to it. Appreciate what whiskey is. It's not a drink to go and get drunk on directly. It's a drink to appreciate all those people. Those people who physically work to get it into that bottle. So I'm just going to read very quickly. There's a couple of comments in here, and I just want to make sure, in case people have real questions that they wanted to ask me, I'm just going to come up with with the answers just now. But today was literally just saying, hello, we're definitely happening. We're going to be big. We're not downsizing. We're upsizing. We had we sent out about 950 odd boxes during the summer. Christmas period, I think we sent out about 200, 300, maybe. In fact, it was definitely 300. So there was at least 300 boxes went out at the Christmas period. We'll have a few boxes going out at Easter here. But come the summer, we want thousands of boxes to go out. We're planning that well in advance. And again, same type of quality. We're looking at the same type of very, very good quality product that's coming out. That people really should be proud of. And respect. So let me just have a wee quick look here. And listen, the fact that anyone's saying anything nice at this point in time is just really, I really really humbled by it. So thank you very much. It's really kind of you. Okay, there you go, Justin. I'm just going to name some people here. So Justin, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And yes, do you know what? If people want to give me a hand and help out, really appreciate it. We had some really great volunteers from the Belfast Whisky Club in the summer there helping out. Irish Whisky Options making this happen. Ecklandville Distillery making this happen. There are people who are in the background who are making the festival happen. It doesn't just happen because of me. In fact, I'm just one person that has a motivation, a drive to ensure that this happens for the community. But it's a community-led event, and it's community-led insofar as I know that people want whiskey, and I know that people want different types of whiskey and to try lots of new things. It'll be up to the distilleries for them to be involved and how much effort they want to put in. We're not going to force distilleries to come on board. We're not going to tell them that they have to be involved in this festival. But if they want to be, we're very excited to have them on board. Very excited to work with them. You're going to see a hell of a lot more distilleries or whiskey specifically outside of Ireland. So you're going to see more Scottish whiskey in this year's festival. A hell of a lot more whiskey coming from Europe and again from Australia. So I think I think I even saw Peter on here who'd helped us out the last time. And again, really looking forward to seeing what's coming from Tasmania. So Peter, oh yeah, there's Peter Bignell there. Listen, thank you very much for popping on. Let's have a look. Paul, can we confirm now if we're allowed out, we'll both be in attendance for the after party again. 100%, Jamie. Look, physically, if we can be out and about, we're going to be out and about. You know that. We're going to be out and about in Belfast. Join us in Belfast for the festival, because it's going to happen. The festival will happen. There'll be physical parts to the festival. I just can't guarantee that everyone's 100% physical, but I'm going to guarantee just now, anything we're doing as a tasting with whiskey will be now, made virtual. That will happen. It will go out virtually. I appreciate that, Connor Owens. Thank you very much. There's someone asking a question about 1970s or something. I want to try and find it. Oh, here we go. Oh, it was just 70. Yeah, 70 tastings, Matt. 100%. Look, I don't. We shouldn't just limit it to a couple of tastings here or there. No, we need to go all out here. And we need to go all out because we know for a fact that there's a lot of whiskey out there. There's a lot of people who want to taste lots of different things, and really try to get my head around some really unique tastings. And I want to, revert back to those kind of pre-1980s, pre-1970s. I'm trying to do a pre-prohibition. So yeah, pre-prohibition or prohibition era tasting. I want to do that. And again, it's looking at whiskies that that you'll never, unless you are super rich, you're not going to go out and buy them, but you're maybe get the chance to taste them. You're maybe going to get the chance to come and have a dram. And I think that to have a dram with a community who've never seen these whiskies before, they come in these beautiful, bottles, dust collecting on them for over, for over 70, 80 years. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're kind of. We want to have those exciting tastings. We want to look at new stuff. We want to be looking at the new guys on the block who are coming out with just new liquid all the time. And it's to support these new distilleries, because last year was a shit show, an absolute shit show for these distilleries who have worked hard, put a lot of money into their businesses, and really couldn't really do very much last year. I'm assuming that we've got a lot of whiskey that's going to be released this year, because a lot of it was being held off, So I know there's distilleries out there waiting, biding their time, literally itching to get the product out there. And we're really excited, obviously, to try and help that. We really want to get, to get their whiskey out there. New make stuff is going to be very important, that we get the chance to taste lots of new make. And I'm just properly excited. I hope everyone's excited for that. I hope everyone, although I don't expect everyone to tune in every session that I'm going to be doing, but they're going to be made available. I'll make sure there's a wee note left on the Facebook account as to when they are. But in reality, it's Monday and Wednesday every week up until the festival taking place. Tickets will probably go on sale post St. Patrick's week, because we want to get St. Patrick's week. We want to get that small little set of tastings done. We want to get them out the road, and then we'll look at the packages will then go up for the festival itself. But don't be frightened to get involved. Come and get involved. And suggest things. Message me. I have no problems. If you want to see something there, if you think there's a distillery that hasn't been involved so far that you want to see involved, then we'll contact them and we'll ask them nicely. Just be polite. We'll just say we're somebody out there wants to taste your whiskey. Maybe, and Ireland's a very interesting place, because Ireland is not a selling point for Scotch. People don't come here as ambassadors from Scotland to sell to Ireland. And yet we want to see, I want to see 20, maybe 30 distilleries from Scotland showcasing throughout this festival. I want to see their whiskey coming through the festival. I want to see all of that. Justin, no, the St. Patrick's tastings are not sold out. They will go on sale tomorrow, 100% on sale tomorrow. They didn't go on sale today or the last few days, because we had a problem with the back end or trying to actually make physical sales. It just wasn't working properly. So we will have them on sale tomorrow, and I really should give a time, shouldn't I? So if we say that they'll go on sale at 5 p.m. tomorrow, then they go on sale at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Okay. They're just, they say they're sold out just now, but there's not. It's literally that I couldn't be bored going back in and archiving them and then bringing them back out onto sale again. So they're in there sold out. they'll be remunerated, and then they'll go back on sale. 5 o'clock tomorrow, so make that 5 o'clock on Thursday. But yeah, if people want to get involved in all these tastings with either brand ambassadors, distillers, distillery owners, people within the industry, then subscribe to that YouTube channel. Don't be frightened to do that. And then you'll see, if you're a subscriber, you'll get the opportunity that you can come on and you can have those sets sent to you. We'll send out 3 samples of whiskey that I'm going to be drinking with them. It could be anything. If I'm talking to, and I love Joe McGowan, so if I'm talking to Joe McGowan from IDL, we're having a conversation, maybe I'll just send out, is it, I don't know, Powers John Lane, maybe like a Hungarian oak Method Madness, and what, I don't know, a Redbreast cask strength or something. Maybe I just throw that out there. But we're not going to talk about that whiskey. I'm just going to talk about Joe, and I'm going to talk to Joe about what Joe does, and we want to know about the distillery and what they're going to do for the festival. And that's very important. It's maybe getting an insight as to what they might be doing coming up for the festival. And yes, Graham, exactly. 5 o'clock tomorrow, Graham. Yes, you're asking the right kind of question. The new Scottish Distilleries tasting was a cracking one. Yes, and do you know what? Really good to showcase new distilleries in Scotland, because people think that maybe Ireland's the only one that's having all this, boom. But it's not. It's all over the world. Look at all the whiskey distilleries that are just cropping up everywhere. America has so many more. Australia, lots. Europe, they're just bouncing up all over the place. England has so many. England, and it's a very interesting side of it. But look, someone said 70 tastings. That's not a lot. 70 unique tastings. You think about the distilleries there are in the world. You think about what whiskey there is in the world. 70 is nothing. 70 is not a lot of tastings. It might sound like a lot when we talk about a week, but it's not. And just watch how it filters out and how it's programmed in, and I remember that opportunity to dive back in and out of those tastings at a later time, because they're going to be recorded. So I think, keep with the program, get with the program. I've got, this is last year's glass. Yeah, I like that last year's glass. And I've got, at the moment, I have a Hazelburn in there just for a wee nip just now, just to say thank you very much for everyone coming on for the crack. I'm going to go onto my Instagram account and just do exactly the same that I've just done here just now, but I just couldn't, for some reason this wouldn't let me stream onto my Instagram account this evening. But we're on the Facebook, on the YouTube. Our new glasses this year, some very interesting designs for our new glasses this year. But sure, you'll see them, and you'll see them if you get involved. And look, if you're looking at our page, so it's www.belfastwhiskeyweek.com. At the moment, you'll probably see a cream background. You'll probably see something about Rabbie Burns Night. If you click on that, it'll probably say error. And you're going to see that change overnight. And tomorrow, when you click onto it, you'll see the 4 tasting sets for St. Patrick's Week. Then you'll be able to click into them, and you'll be able to go and have a nosy at what's going on in those different packs. But look, if people want to get involved and have a bit of fun, that's what this community is all about. You can share it. I don't really care if you share or you don't share. People are talking about it, which is really nice. People are continually asking me questions, and that's very important, because everyone has something to say and everyone can have an input into this festival. We'll try our utmost to make it happen. Mick, you're good crack. Yes. Okay. Listen, you don't need to come and follow me on that Instagram chat. But listen, if you've got any questions, I'll give you 2 minutes. You can ask them away very quickly in that chat. If not, I'm coming off here. I did say I was going to be about half an hour. We're at 28 minutes. Go ahead. Gareth, you're funny. The best glass I've ever tasted. Love it. I hope you're talking about Liam Mulhern's comment there. And Connor, I'm not gonna divulge. I'm not going to divulge that just now. But listen, cheers. No more questions. That's perfectly fine. Listen, cheers. Listen, look forward to it. If the next one, you're going to see me Monday night, if it suits you. And I hope to have a very good guest coming on, and I'll release that information tomorrow. All right. Sláinte. Good night. Enjoy your evening. Cheers.